All right, today we are diving into something that honestly feels like it's straight out of science fiction. The idea of turning plain English into a full-blown working application. We're going to break down how you can master this incredible tool, and we'll be using the amazing guide from Dr. Vernette Grant as our roadmap. I mean, just stop and really think about that for a second. What if the biggest thing standing between your amazing idea and a real app wasn't years of learning code, but just your ability to clearly describe what you want? That's the huge question we're tackling today. So here's our game plan. First, we'll get into the incredible promise of all this. Then we'll meet the tool that makes it happen, Loveable AI. After that, we're going to walk through the actual process, step by step, lay out a path to getting really good at it. And finally, see the proof in the pudding, going from just an idea to a real product. Okay, let's jump right into this first section. We're talking about a massive shift in how software gets built. It's about moving away from endless lines of complicated code and into the simple power of everyday language. The big idea is so simple, but wow, is it powerful. You just describe the app you want to build, its features, what it does, and an AI-powered system literally generates the whole thing for you. And we're not just talking about a mock-up or a pretty design. We're talking about a real working product you can actually deploy. So, what's the engine making all this happen? Let's get into the specifics and take a look at the tool that's at the center of this revolution, Loveable AI. At its heart, Loveable AI is a development platform. It takes your simple, natural language prompts and translates them into actual professional-grade code that's ready to go live. This isn't a toy. It's a serious tool for creators and developers. Now, this is a really important distinction. You've probably seen other no-code tools, right? A lot of them are like a black box. You build your thing inside their system, and that's where it stays. Loveable AI is the exact opposite. It gives you the actual code. That means you have total transparency and complete control. You can take that code, edit it, host it wherever you want. You're never locked in. And check out what's under the hood. This isn't some weird proprietary system you've never heard of. It's built on a foundation that pros know and trust. We're talking React for the beautiful front end, Node.js and Express for a powerful backend, and Supabase handling your database and user logins. Long story short, it's a modern, reliable tech stack you can build on with total confidence. Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's get into the how. How does a simple idea, just written out in words, actually become a living, breathing application? Let's trace that whole journey. It all kicks off with a prompt, and just like this example from Dr. Grant's guide shows, it doesn't need to be some super complex technical document. A clear, simple sentence like this is literally the starting block for your entire app. From that one little sentence, the platform just gets to work. It figures out what you're asking for and generates all the core pieces. That includes the code for CRUD operations. Create, read, update, and delete data, which is the heart of almost every app. Plus, all the secure APIs that let the front and back ends talk to each other safely. So, here's the crucial part. You are always in the driver's seat. This isn't some black box that spits something out and says, you're done. You get professional-level tools like GitHub Sync for version control, that all-important editable code, and you can even deploy right from the platform. You're in control every step of the way. And that leads to this really cool idea called vibe coding. The best way to think about it is like you're having a conversation with your app. You can make small changes and tweaks just by talking to the AI. Hey, can you change this button color? Or let's add a new field here. It's an ongoing, natural dialogue. This all sounds amazing, right? But how do you go from this is cool to actually being able to build complex apps with confidence? Well, this next section lays out a super clear path, a roadmap designed to get you to mastery. See, you're not just left to figure this out on your own. Dr. Vernette Grant has put together a whole 10-week curriculum that acts as your guide. And the goal isn't just to build an app. It's to build one that's scalable, totally secure, and maybe even something you can make money from. And here's what that journey looks like. It's a completely logical progression. You start with the foundations of writing good prompts. Then you move into building the actual app. Then you focus on the really important stuff like security. Finally, you cover testing, deployment, and putting it all to use on a real project. And now for the most exciting part, where the rubber really meets the road. All that learning comes together in this final stage, where you prove what you can do by building something real. The final challenge, the big finale, is to build an MVP, a minimum viable product. This is that first core version of your idea that's actually functional, something you can show to real users, clients, or maybe even investors. And that's why this is such a game changer. Your MVP could be the prototype that launches your startup. It could be a powerful custom tool you build for a freelance client. Or, hey, it could even be an internal app that makes your job way easier. The possibilities here are so practical and valuable. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? When you master this process, you gain 3 incredibly powerful things: the clarity to truly define your vision, the creative freedom to build it out, and most importantly, the control to turn that vision into a real scalable app. It's exactly what Dr. Grant talks about: coding with clarity, creativity, and control. Look, this kind of technology puts an unbelievable amount of power right at your fingertips. So the last question I have isn't about the tool anymore, it's about you. After seeing what's possible, what's that one idea that's been rattling around in the back of your head? What would you finally make real?